Welcome to the University of South Carolina. It's in the latest edition of Inside Carolina. I'm your host, Hannah Horn, a proud alumna of the University of South Carolina and a lot older than these cooler students, right? We are so excited as you join us in this episode for First Night Carolina, the official welcome to the school year and especially for first-year students. Join us as we go Inside Carolina! The university prides itself on that welcoming culture, having been ranked the #1 first-year experience among public universities in the entire country. And that warm garnet welcome is on display tonight at First Night Carolina. We spoke with Courtney Buzan, Associate Director of Campus Programs, to learn more. Courtney, you can already feel the excitement of First Night Carolina. The band is warming up, the food trucks are set out. For alumni who may remember this as First Week Carolina or in a different iteration, how has this night changed and what does it mean for your team to put this on?
Absolutely. So Carolina Welcome as a whole is not a new concept, and First Night Carolina as a brand is not a new concept, but the way that we deliver it now is actually several years in the making. Back in 2018, we completely revamped this program. We heard what students wanted. We changed it and made it a model that's more social. It gives students a night that they can just let their hair down, be them natural selves, and experience Gamecock at its finest. We celebrate tradition tonight. They get to do their first Gamecock chant on the Horseshoe. They will be led in a sandstorm, their first sandstorm as Gamecocks. And then what's waiting for them over at Green Street in front of the Russell House is a street party unlike no other, because we don't do anything small here at Carolina. We have food trucks, we have fireworks, fun in every corner. They get to just experience this campus at its finest, and it starts in our most hallowed space, which was something the students wanted, and it ends in the place that's the heart of campus. So.
And you think about these young people moving here from all over, from around the world, and they'll come here. This is really their first taste or tradition, is it not?
Yes, and we say that tradition starts tonight. That's kind of the catchphrase of First Night Carolina, because even though we've already had them moved in, they might have experienced campus a little bit, tradition starts tonight, and we give them a taste of it through some interactions with President Emeritus tonight. They'll get to meet Coach Beamer tonight, Cocky, the cheer team, obviously the marching band, and then what's waiting for them is the student experience, which officially kicks off tomorrow when classes start.
And why do this, other than just to expose them to the special sauce that is this campus?
This is about building community. This event is the pillar of Carolina Welcome that really kicks off what it means to be a Gamecock by representing how we all come together to celebrate what we love, which is garnet and black, in the place that we love, and among just the community here that really just welcomes students to being a part of this experience, which just starts now, but as alumni know, it doesn't end. And so we're just excited to kick off their journey tonight.
Hats off to you and your team for making an exceptional First Night Carolina. First Night Carolina is an awesome way to welcome first-year students to campus, but it does not stop there. University 101 is a semester-long program that helps students succeed throughout their college experience. We talked to Dan Friedman, director of University 101. Dan, for those of us who don't know a lot about University 101, tell us about how this program specifically helps make that difficult transition for students in that very first year, that critical, maybe even first weeks, first few months of their college experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is something that we've been doing on this campus since 1972, and it's something that's trying to help students intentionally onboard to this new and what can be a very difficult and challenging experience starting college. So we don't want to leave it to chance that students are going to figure out what they need to make the most of their experience at Carolina and to develop the skills needed to be successful in their courses, to make their friends, to find out about all the resources and opportunities. So we have an intentional onboarding experience that we call University 101. Most good companies and organizations are going to spend time onboarding their new talent. And so University of South Carolina is no different than that, except that we've sort of figured out the magical ingredients that make these things work.
I love how you call it intentional onboarding. What are those secret ingredients? Or would they be secret anymore?
Well, we're happy to share.
Yeah.
I mean, University of South Carolina is considered the international leader in first-year seminars. It was something invented on this campus 50 years ago. So many schools across the world call us and ask us a very similar question. When it comes down to it, it's quite simple. It really is about helping students make friends, probably the #1 benefit. When you look at the literature on onboarding and human resources, the biggest thing is, do people feel like they belong and they make connections to others? So haven't met a person yet that doesn't need a friend. And when you're in transition in a new environment, that it's such a key piece to feel like you belong, that you're understood, that you're seen, that people know who you are. When you have a university that's as large as the University of South Carolina, and yet it feels so small and so personal, it's an experience like University 101 that really helps make that happen. I think another thing is you have these caring and dedicated instructors that really want to be helpful for our students and help them make the most of their experience, and make sure that they're not running into difficulties, and if they do, helping them solve those challenges.
One of the things I love about University 101 is that it's data-driven, and you have outcomes and data on graduation rates, retention, positive outcomes for the broader community. Tell me about that and how this continues on even after, would say, 50 years.
Yeah, I tell my friends and family and people I work with, University 101 gets a lot of national attention, rankings, recognitions, and awards, and I said, that's not really what helps me sleep at night. What helps me sleep at night is knowing that this course works for the people that we're designed to serve, and that's our students. We know that students that take University 101 are significantly more likely to come back for their second year, almost 8 or 9 percentage points higher. And they're just as much as likely to graduate in 6 years. They have significantly higher GPAs, and they're significantly more likely to tell us that if they had to choose it all over again, that they would choose the University of South Carolina. So we've made them feel good about their experience. We've given them a very high quality experience, and then that leads them to stay and ultimately graduate.
So when are you going to launch Alumni University 101?
That's right, that's a great question. So we're always looking for ways to help people in transition.
Great job, Dan. University 101 is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, and back on August 26, Governor Henry McMaster issued a proclamation honoring the program for its success and its international impact. We love telling you about recent happenings on campus and accomplishments by the Gamecock family. Here are a few highlights. The second floor of the Russell House has been completely renovated, offering new dining options for students. It's now called Gamecock Park. President Michael Amaritas recently celebrated the new space and the benefits it'll bring to students.
It's not only the capacity, it's also a beautiful space. Thank you, Kim. And it's a great selection that will change during the time as the students again change.
The university's Hospitality and Tourism Management program was recently ranked number 9 in the country. This is the 4th straight year that the program has been ranked among the top 10. President Amaritas has built out his leadership team with the recent announcement of Michelle Dodenhoff as Vice President for Development and J. Rex Tolliver as Vice President for Student Affairs and Academic Support. Dodenhoff and Tolliver join other recent additions, including Provost Donna Arnett and Julius Fredrickson, Vice President for Research. When we talk about the student experience here at the University of South Carolina, well, there are a lot of people working behind the scenes to make that happen. One of those people is Dennis Pruitt. Now, you may not recognize his name, but he's the outgoing Vice President of Student Affairs. And as he retires, we sat down with him to ask him about all the things that make this place so special and how things have changed during his 40-year career. Alexis Watts has the story.
Thinking back about the past 40 years, half of it's a blur, but the university's changed so much, our students have changed so much.
And Dennis Pruitt was here for all of it. He's been USC's Vice President of Student Affairs since 1980, which doesn't sound like that long ago, but in 1980 there was no internet, no cocky. We weren't even in the Southeastern Conference yet. But one thing that has remained constant for 40 years is Dennis Pruitt's dedication to improving the student experience.
When I started the University of South Carolina, it was really almost a competition for who was going to make it and who wasn't. And everything we did was based on, is the student ready for college or not? And now we've changed dramatically over the past 40 years. So now a frame of reference is the university ready for all the students that are coming to us with all the different characteristics? What we've come to realize is that as we've studied students over the generations, is that the most important component of coming to college is not whether you have the intellectual ability, because all of our students do when they come. It's whether or not they have the fit, whether or not they feel bonded. And so we've created this wonderful approach of making sure the students have this fit.
Dennis has led USC's efforts to give students a sense of belonging by developing programs and initiatives that some of us might take for granted.
And it's in the residence halls, it's through University 101, it's through orientation, and it's through the classroom. It's through our Student Success Center. We've kind of moved from just a teaching institution to a learning institution, partly where students can develop their own learning activities, because that's what they have to do in life. You know, this generation of students may have 15 different jobs. They've got to be lifelong learners.
So how has Student Affairs been able to consistently deliver that experience, even as campus and the student body changes over the years?
You know, the University of South Carolina has come a long way in the 40 years based on the hard work of lots of people.
Over the years, Dennis has been honored with numerous awards and accolades, but he has always been quick to attribute his success to those around him.
I've been the face of the Division of Student Affairs, but if you go back and look at the groundbreaking people, the Paul Fiddlers of the world, or the Don Swansons who really established our counseling center, Jerry Crotty who did the Carolinian Creed, or Gene Lena who brought sustainability to the university through our Green Quad. I can go on and on and on. The number of faculty who have risen to the occasion, they are unsung heroes for the work they have done for the university and for our students.
Tell me about what Dennis is reading and how did that come about and why?
I like to read a lot. I like to read things from a lot of different sources. I like to connect the dots. I like to look at things interdisciplinary. And people said, well, you know, why don't we just have a meeting, a professional development meeting where anybody can come and you just talk about what you've read. Then we started asking people that were attending, what are you reading and what's information that's important for you or your profession or working with your students. That everybody comes from different orientations and people have different perspectives and contexts on life and different experiences. And as you get older, you know, you see things differently.
I'd love to hear what you would like to be remembered for at USC.
Probably 15 years ago, 20 years ago, every time I did a presentation, we had a slide up. And there was a slide that said, be kind. And it said, be kind because everyone is dealing with something about which you know nothing about. I think that's, if I had a legacy, it would be, let's create this community. Everybody belongs, everybody fits, everybody deserves to be here. I might be most proud of the fact that all 4 of my children came to the University of South Carolina, and I watched how what we did at the University of South Carolina provided for them as individuals and how they responded and what they didn't respond to. So that was a remarkable experience. I want the generation of employees that we have and the student leadership that we have and the peer educators and the faculty and staff to just continue to build and look for that next big thing and make this a better place to be and deliver on the promise. And everywhere I go, I'll continue spreading the Garnet Gospel.
So if you enjoyed this episode of Inside Carolina, like Cocky did, we just ask you to share it with your friends, family, and fellow alumni. Thanks for joining us Inside Carolina.
What have I not done? I visited where my classes are going to be. I went to the convocations.
What have been some things that have made you feel welcome so far this week on campus that you've done?
I guess the people, really. Ate lunch at Poke Bros.
It has been so fun. Everybody's so nice. I've met new friends, you know.
As well as Einstein Bros Bagels.
The energy. Everyone just truly loves it here. And I think it's just amazing.
I've never seen so much energy. I'm from Wisconsin, so it was a lot of energy, really fun.
I played Capture the Flag at Strom Field.
Go Gamecocks!
Go Gamecocks!
Go Gamecocks!
Just a couple things that, not a light first week.